dice. Thank you to our three beautiful, powerful women. To close up our speakers, we have Veronica Escobar, a county judge here in El Paso. Let's give it up for her. Wow, beautiful El Paso people. We have to honor and give great thanks for such a beautiful day, and give thanks to our fearless leader who brought us all together and did so much work, Xochitl Nicholson. Xochitl, where are you? She's around here somewhere. But what started as an idea to follow in the great work that women across the country and across the world are doing to make sure that we had a voice in El Paso, or that the voice of El Paso was heard, culminated in this beautiful march of thousands and thousands of El Pasoans. And so hats off to all of you. My friends, last week we were here on this very stage, in this very park, in the heart of this beautiful city, standing with our dreamers. And during that event, we acknowledged what we all know is in our hearts. Love for our fellow citizens, love for the immigrants in our community, love for the people who have been marginalized in our society because of hateful speech. And we stood together on this stage and we said we were going to protect each other. And we are going to protect each other. And here we are a week later, standing with our mothers, our sisters, our daughters, our aunts, our granddaughters, our neighbors, all of the beautiful women who gave birth to this community, who gave birth to this nation, who gave birth to this globe. And we know that we have to protect our women if we are going to protect our world and our globe. And so we stand together to do that, but there's so much more at stake. Yesterday begins a new era in our country, and many of us are afraid of what that era is going to usher in, because we know that our environment is at stake. We know that our rights over our own bodies are at stake. We know that public education in this country is at stake. And we know the lives of the immigrants in our community are at stake. And the gains that our LGBT community has made is also at stake. And my friends, this is the consequence of elections. And I know, Xochitl, I'm going to break your rule. You said this is not about politics, but it is about politics. This is about politics. This is about politics. And elections matter. Elections matter, okay? And it is no longer enough. I will say this until I'm blue in the face. It is no longer enough just for each one of us to cast our vote. Those of us who are privileged enough in this country to be able to cast a vote. That's not enough. That is not enough. We have to work and rally, and all of the beautiful energy that we have today, all of the inspiration that we felt on that walk, all of that cheering, being side by side with our fellow El Pasoans, with Juarenses, with people who came in from New Mexico, we have to channel that energy. We have to take all of that and use it to change our world and take our country back. And my friends, it doesn't happen on its own. It doesn't happen if we wish it to happen. It doesn't happen if we have the best intentions for it to happen. It only happens when we act, and when we act in a unified manner with dignity and pride for who we are, for who we represent, for the people standing next to us, for all of the people around us, and we are going to fight back. We are going to fight back. We cannot give in to fear. We cannot give in to intimidation. We cannot give in to oppression. oppression. No! And we cannot give in to hate. No! And we more than ever have an obligation that when we hear someone using hate speech, when we hear someone lying about fellow citizens or immigrants or the gay community, that we use our voice and we stand up and we say no, and here's the truth. And it is up to us to speak the truth. And we know the truth. We know the truth. And we know the truth. And the truth is that human rights belong to all. They are not legislated and given. They belong to all of us. And we cannot rest until every person in this country gets to enjoy the same privileges and rights that we are so honored to have. Our dreamers should not live in fear of deportation. Their parents should not live in fear of deportation. Our LGBT community should not feel fear that their right to be married and to enjoy love is taken from them. Our children have the right to equal opportunity and a great public education, whether they live in a poor community or the wealthiest community in this country. Each one of our children deserves that. And our women deserve the right to decide what they do with their own bodies. So my friends, today we marched. But after this march is over, the resistance begins. On Monday, we celebrated and honored an amazing American, Martin Luther King. And one of his very famous quotes that has always spoken so much to me and has inspired me to not remain silent is the quote that says, "Let us not forget," or I'm sorry, what's that quote again? See, this is what happens when you don't use notes. It's about the silence of our friends, that we in the end, we forget the words of our enemies, but we do not forget the silence of our friends. And so we cannot be silent. We have to take action. And we have to take a very powerful role in every election, whether they be local elections, state elections, national elections. It's up to us. And it will only happen when we take the power that we have and take it to the ballot box. So my friends, are we taking it to the ballot box? Yes! Are we going to vote? Yes! Are we going to change America and make it the best place it can be, a place for us to be proud of? Yes! Yes! Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. My friends, thank you for being here. Thank you for being here on a cold, wintry day. Thank you for marching. Thank you for all the love that you give our community. Thank you for what you do. And we begin our next battle together. Let's get inspiration from one another and let's build the resistance together. Now we are going to end this with a song. So please, everyone join in. Sochi. No, I'm not singing.